Hello folks, well this is the day after the oil change and ignore the crap on the carpet, there are no oil leaks, which is good, but I wanted to address the shitulation inside the belly pan. A lot of this is really sticky, especially this side. Obviously this is the side that gets all the chain lube and stuff spunked all over it, but I did take the cover off and it's not too dirty inside, so whether somebody had actually managed to clean it I don't know, but a lot of this it's just like chain lube, it's all stuck on and horrible, and I know oil and gunk can do that, but I thought before I put it on I'll clean everything up, or at least attempt to clean everything up. The other thing this bugger did, I don't know whether I actually showed it on the last video, I don't think I did, because when I came to move it back in from where Phyliss is now, it fired up and then conked, which is normal, and then put the choke on a bit, fired it up again, and all the idiot lights were really dull, like there was next to no voltage in the battery. Anyway, left it just a few seconds, come back, it fired straight up again. Now that to me points to a bad earth. That's the sign of a bad earth to me, but that's the original battery that came with Spurt. I'm pretty sure it was on its way to being duff then. When the rectifier went, I looked back on the records, I looked back on my purchase history from like Wamoto and places like that, and I did buy a battery for him and I did fit it, but then the rectifier went and boiled the new battery. That battery's been sat outside now for months. Hand gestures. I've just put the charger on it and within 10 seconds it says it's fully charged. Now I know that's wrong. I'm going to get the multimeter on it because I'm going to take the tray off. I'm going to put a bit later on, I'm going to put the multimeter on the battery because it is showing 12.5 13 volt static, which is sort of alright, but what we need is when I press that startulation button it cannot drop below about 9. If it drops below 9 we know the battery's duff, and it hasn't got the cold cranking amps it needs. We'll just have to get a battery, so I'm going to test that later, and when I do I shall video the multimeter if I remember. In the meantime, it's Shit Scrape City. Everything fucking well breaks down. Cunts. folks, what an interesting morning. I went to get Phyllis out this morning. Phyllis, say hello, Phyllis. Hello, everybody. She behaved very well yesterday in all that rain and all that lot. And I went to start her this morning, and there was like no go, like weak ignition lights. Then it wouldn't spin over. Oh, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. Serves me right, giving blowjobs to Charles Aznavour. Anyway, and then it'd turn over, but it wouldn't fire, and then it'd fire and then stop. So, in a fit of impotent rage, I effed it off, got Spurt out, and I went to work on Spurt. And that was a whole new story, because through one of the little villages just near work, it started cutting out. And I mean like an electrical cutout, like somebody was just chopping the ignition. I thought, oh, you little bastard. So, yes, we need to look at Spurt as well. But bear in mind with Spurt, we found a little bit of corrosion in the loom the other day. There could be corrosion on the ignition circuit. So the only thing to do is see if I can get to the plug for the ignition barrel and what have you, and just have a look at it. And I filled in with petroleum this morning, but that's alright because I can siphon that out, put it into olive, and then I can use olive, or if I can get Phyllis sorted. Like I say, she ran perfectly the other day. Be alright. One thing I did notice though is when I put her away last night, I started her up and I heard a little pop and an electrical smell. So I've just took the cover off from under the seat where the fuse, it's about the only fuse on the bike. It smelled a little bit electrical. I looked at the fuse, there was a little bit of discoloration on the fuse, but it hadn't popped. So my only other port of call is, I mean obviously she was rode in the wet the other day, is there might have been a bit of wet just got inside the spark plug boot. So I'm just going to put another plug in it just to see. And it's dead easy to get to. Hello everybody. It's just there, you can get it off and pop it off. Doesn't appear to be any water in it, but we'll screw the boot on and we'll get that plug out and we'll see, because she's spinning over and the pump's working. I've changed the fuse, the pump is priming and it's spinning over. Now I have had issues before with the injector clogging slightly and I had to just pull it, and then I don't even know what I did and it sorted itself out basically. So yes, so I shall crack on with that. I'm going to get that little plug out, and this is your Captain Glenn going by and sort that out. Come on, little bugger. But, come on. Oh, yeah, well there's fuel getting to it, but that's the state of the plug. Look, it's not too bad, but that gap looks a bit big to me. I'll have to check what the gap is. Just while we're here quickly, I'll check for sparkylage. Yes. Well, there was a spark. What gets me is that it's quite intermittent, the starter button, and I don't think it's spinning over very quick. I'm wondering, even though I charged the battery up the other day, whether the battery is a going duff, because that fuel priming is usually a lot louder. Yes. Let's try the old sparkulator again. Shall we go? There, down there. There we go. Is that all right? Probably won't work, Jim. You see, that hardly primed at all then. I wonder if I've got a bit of a flat battery. And now it's not spinning over. Very strange. I'm going to measure the voltage on that battery. That's interesting. I'll just put the other plug in, and it did start and run for about 3 seconds, and then it cocked itself. So what I'm going to do, because it was rode in the rain, I'm going to just WD-40 like the ignition barrel, up there, the micro switches and stuff like that, give them a squirtage and just see if that's anything to do with it. The mystery deepens. I think the problem's in the barrel. Might be wrong though. I mean, all the soldering and stuff looks alright from what I can see at the minute. But if I wiggle that wire, it cuts out. I'm wondering if there's a little bit of corrosion in the barrel down the bottom where the switch is, and it's causing resistance, and not like Star Wars resistance. No. I think there's a break in the wiring. Nice. See, I thought the problem was actually at the back of the switch. Jimmy took far too long pausing there. Because obviously as I wiggle this, it has the same effect as wiggling that. But I've just put a multimeter in that plug, and obviously I'm getting 12, whatever the battery voltage is, 12 point something. And then if I wiggle it, it drops to 0. So it suggests there is a break in the wire. I'm wondering if it's a solder joint and it's gone cold. I don't know. The only way to guess is strip back the old Insulos, the Orny, and find out. Cut back the original sheath. Great word. And this is what I found. There is actually a joint there, and that is what did I do? That's the power in to the ignition, which would make sense. There appears to be, or feels like, a joint there, and it's rock hard, so I'm going to have to pile this back a little bit more, see what's happening, but I think that joint's failed. Yes. Okay, so let's turn the ignition on, and we should get a nice healthy prime from the pump if it's getting the correct voltage. Okay, that's good, and it will no doubt start and run. So let's start it. As soon as I move that wire, I think that's either a broken connection or it's probably shorting on another wire. So let's get in there and have a look, peanuts. Right, so we've sussed Phyliss. We know it's a dodgy wire. And I initially thought this, and when I'm not dropping keys on the floor, I initially thought this splice here, but it actually does it with these wires as well. I'm going to look at the Onar's workshop manual and see what this red wire is, because obviously one of them's, this is power in to the ignition, and I think that is power out, and I don't know what that one is. So we'll have to have a look. But if I press it like that, hold that steady and press that, it cuts out. So the problem is one of those. I'm going to have to get in there somehow, and it might be that I strip the loom down from here just to make it easier. And Spurt, I've just had a look at Spurt, check the ignition, check the voltage, check the charging voltage. That's all good. I've wiggled bits around, you know, I've wiggled battery leads. I've wiggled the loom coming out of the ignition key. Nothing. It's not doing a damn thing. Now the only other thing I can suspect is the side stand kill switch has been sort of hot wired, and I'm wondering if that's coming undone, because if it's open circuit it'll kill the engine. Oh God, look who it isn't. Uncle Barnyard, Uncle Barnyard. I've seen bigger muscles on a gnat's penis.
That's me.
Yes.
That's me.
So, until I find anything definitive, I'm going to have a look at that switch. Neutral switch is now working okay. That's worked alright. The only other safety switch is clutch, which could be a possibility, but that should only kill the starting circuit. How does it? But I'm going to have a quick look at the kickstand switch. Yes, yes. Say goodbye, Jim. It's goodbye for now. Yes.